Right, back for some more Florian. So, I think I have an interesting showcase, right, of an alternative way to look at Florian's hero ability. So we do have Decompose set up. We have some overdrawing set up as well, right, to go into what I do want to showcase. And then also, as per usual, a nice large attack sequence. But we'll take our Tusk damage. There we go, the sigils pop, and yeah, Destructive Deliberation. So, when this hits a hero, create a Ponder token. Now, Ponder tokens are aura tokens, right? So they do work with Florian's ability, meaning that if you stack enough of them, you can technically overdraw and have a sizable hand, even larger than this. So why don't we see how many we can create, right? So we'll start off by using the Tunic, then we can do a Tome of the Arknight, stack the deck, right, into another Tome of the Arknight. We'll pitch the Autumn's Touch, right, one more time, and then we should be able to Tome of Harvests, and we'll still pitch an Autumn's Tusk. And there we go. So we have Peace of Mind, right? Another way to easily generate a Ponder token. So on your opponent's turn, for instance, you could use Peace of Mind to defensively react, right? And then have a very small turn, maybe just a weapon swing, and then have just off of 3 Peace of Minds, already 6 Ponder tokens, so 1 extra card than normal arsenal in hand, right? And you don't even have to put a card in the arsenal in that sense. So you, in total, right, you're just having a lot more value because you don't have to worry about playing around their arsenal disruption, and you have more cards, right, to either block with and then continue with an attack turn. But obviously we're aiming for a lot more than 6, so let's see how many we can make. So starting off, we will crack the energy potions, right? So each of them will cover the cost of the Peace of Mind. So we can do Peace of Mind, right? There's a 2, there's a 4, and there's a 6. And then from there, we can do our 3 premeditates, right? 1, 2, 3. We can then also time snap potion so that we have 2 action points. Because now what we can do, right? Premeditate, the Ponder token doesn't have to be played from Arsenal. So we can use a Destructive Deliberation and we can pitch the Autumn's Touch, right? So do that, pitch that. And when it hits, we then get a whole bunch of tokens. Not that you can see, but I think we're at 14. And then, of course, we can attack one more time since we have the 2 resources left over. So we do that, we hit, and then our Ponder, right, procs. And it's 16 draw, and then we still have the Destructive Deliberation in hand, right? So that's already pretty insane. But, of course, we're going to go somewhat larger. So we can add a card to our arsenal, right? We'll let them attack, and then we can go into another turn of our own, right? Where we can continue stacking Peace of Mind. So Peace of Mind, and then we just start pitching into a Peace of Mind, pitch, Peace of Mind, Peace of Mind, one more pitch, and you guessed it, another Peace of Mind, another pitchable, and just like that, we've turned, what's the going rate, right? It's 2 blues per 3 Peace of Mind for 6 cards. So every 5 gets you 1, right? It's not equivalent to, you know, the books or anything like that, but it is still an extra 12 cards in our already sizably stacked hand, right? So at this point, again, Arsenal is irrelevant because we're not drawing up to our intellect, we're drawing up to our Ponder count. So we can basically just pass, let the Ponder proc, and then have another big, large hand, right? We can send stuff to the bottom, and of course, we still have our last Destructive Deliberation, which we can play to get 2 more cards, but we do have to pitch for, right? So, what to get rid of? Probably just to pick a card, yeah. For the combo, what's better, the pick a card or Bramble? I think pick a card, so we'll do Destructive, right? And we'll just get rid of a pick a card. That hits, again, we get 2 more Ponder tokens, so 1 for 2 draw, it's fantastic, and then we hit Kosher. So, now, for the combo side of things, right? We won't even stick anything in our arsenal, but we have our Tunic up, and yeah, basically, we're gonna stack Explosive Growth. So, Thrive came out with the Terra, right? Blitz deck. First Strike deck, right? Flourish, which came out in Rosetta. Completely different. This is significantly better, right? So this is if an attack would gain attack this turn, instead it gains that much +1, meaning it's a blanket effect for the whole turn. The Flourish that came out in Rosetta is a once-off for what seems to be a larger amount, but is overall worse value, right? And a smaller sequence, right? Not going this insane, would just be Explosive Growths into Thrives, right? Because then every time Explosive Growth deals damage, you've got like Stick of Sorcery as Rune Blade, you have Bramble Spark as other ways to add damage ticks for Explosive Growth. You can create a very sizable amount of damage. Now we're going to do a lot with just 1 though, right? So starting off, we will proc our Tunic, That allows us to play our Klloo. Again, super powerful. And then from here, we can start revealing cards. So we have Bramble Spark, which is the next attack card you play this turn gets from this attack, deal 1 arcane damage to target hero, which does count as an instance of damage for explosive growth to then ramp off of. But more importantly, it has, if it's fused, we get +3, and it also has Reveal a card, right? Because one thing you'll notice is our entire hand is very low cost, right? We have a 3 cost here, because we want to play Plume to duplicate a Thrive. Then we also have our Nebula Blade, which I will want to swing with, so that's 2. Then we have Explosive Growth, meaning in total we need 6 resources, right? After 6 resources, what we can do with Klloo, instead of gaining resources, we can gain the next attack this day gains +1, which should be a separate instance every time you proc it. So again, that is going to ramp up very quickly with Thrive. I mean, just any attack with pick a card and Klloo and Thrive is adding a ton of damage, right? This by itself is 4 instances of attack gain, right? Each of them is doubled with Thrive, and then however many times you play Thrive. But nonetheless, enough explaining, right? Why don't we just crack into it? So again, we need 6 resources in total. So we'll do pick a card, doesn't matter what we find, but we'll do gain a resource, gain a resource, gain a resource, and gain a resource. And then for the next one, we only need to gain 2 resources. In fact, we didn't get any silver. There we go, there's one. So gain a resource, and now we'll start stacking attack damage, right? So 1 instance, 2 instance, another pick a card, right? Another 4 instances of attack gain. And we still have 2 more yellows to play as well. So again, pick a card, and this time it's 3 instances of attack gain, right? Into another pick a card, which is still 3 instances of attack gain. And then of course we have the Bramble Sparks, which we will fuse, right? We'll reveal a Thrive. And again, we can gain attack, we get the 3 attack. So this technically has 2 instances of attack gain plus the arcane damage. So very, very good, right? And we could also be gaining resources off of this, but we'll just stack up the attack damage. So we have 9 in total, excuse me. So that's 18 instances of attack gain, and we're going to end up playing 4 Thrive. So 18 by 4 is already 72 damage just off of that, let alone the actual value, right, of some of the Bramble Spark. Now, we also do have Explosive Growth, right? So if Explosive Growth was fused, when it deals damage, attacks you control gain +1 this combat chain. So it will have its own instance and then every instance of Bramble Spark, which is, you know, a sizable amount of damage increase, plus then Thrive will buff those bonuses as well. So it is attacked, meaning it does affect your weapon. So we do want to activate Explosive Growth, meaning we do need to actually pop the silver. Since we did get them, right, we'll go for this as well. So we'll do Bramble. But this time, instead of gaining extra attack, we will just gain a resource, right? We'll do that 3 times. And it should be, I think, an Autumn's Touch, right, is the next card on top, which should be our Earth card to fuse Explosive Growth, right? Let's hope. At least it'll be a blue. No, that's fine. We can do silver. Yeah, there we go. There's the Autumn Touch. So now we can start playing our Thrives, right? So 1, 2, 3. And then, of course, we can Plume. That'll get us back a Thrive. And then, of course, there's our 4 instances of attack gain. And just to top it off, right, we have Crackerjacks as well. We don't need the Time Snap Potion. I took Snapdragon Scalers. I didn't count properly, right? We might as well just crack it. We don't have to use the Snapdragon Scalers. But Explosive Growth is a 1 cost, so they do work. And then, right, we just swing. So Explosive Growth, we'll pitch the Tinadium Bobble. And, of course, we will fuse it. And from here, we will gain that 1 extra attack. So yeah, Explosive Growth by itself is already doing 187 damage, plus the Arcane Pings as well. And then the Nebula Blade is doing 63. So I'm going to say that's not bad at all, right? Yeah, Ponder stacking as Florian. Another alternative use. Another way around the card draw that, again, they have restricted from everybody. Okay, if we can seed, I'm hoping that does show, because weirdly, they've basically locked the bot's HP, which is interesting to me. Let's see, does it show how much damage? Yeah, there we go. So 260 in total on that turn. 20 cards played, right? On the stacking. Hope you enjoyed.